Michigan, it's Mitch Joseph here with the Mitch Joseph Farmers Insurance Agency, and I want to talk to you about your deductibles. Okay, so a lot of people don't know there are different types of deductibles. Some of the most common ones are going to be just your standard deductible and your broad form deductible. Okay, first of all, let's kind of go back a little bit. What is a deductible? Well, the deductible is the amount of money that you're going to pay before the insurance company pays out on any of your claims. So as an example, let's say you get into an accident, God forbid, and you have repairs that are valued at about $10,000. You have a $500 deductible currently. You're going to pay that $500 before your insurance company takes over and pays that $10,000. So essentially, they're going to be paying out about $9,500, just to give it a rough idea. All right, so what is the difference between your deductibles? Well, your standard deductible means that you pay no matter what. So if you cause the accident or if someone else caused the accident, you each have to pay your own individual deductibles. Yes, I know. What is going to be your broad form deductible is one that takes ownership of the accident. So if you're a driver with broad form deductible, that means that if you did not cause the accident, you do not have to pay your deductible. So you're driving along, God forbid someone swings over and crashes into your front bumper. Now that's their fault. They were found at fault by the officers on the scene. That report goes out, and your deductible, your insurance company now knows that you were not at fault. So you have, let's say, that same $500 deductible, but it is a broad form deductible. You do not have to pay that $500. Now I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but for a lot of us, myself personally, if I don't have to pay an extra $500 for something that I didn't do, I'd prefer that, right? So that's why I always kind of recommend, if you have the ability to do it, go with the broad form deductible. Now, there are pros and cons to this, so let's talk about it. Broad form deductibles, typically speaking, are going to make your insurance premiums a little bit higher because you're having less of a chance of paying out or contributing, I should say, to that payout in the event of a collision, in the event of a claim. So normally speaking, when you look at your deductible amounts, let's say you pay $1,000 for your deductible, and your premium in this case is going to be $50. So this is what you pay monthly, $50 a month with a $1,000 deductible. The reason that there's a shift in this is because the deductible amounts for heavily can dictate your premium amounts. So in some cases, if you're paying $1,000 with a $50 premium, if you were to say drop that $1,000 down to $500, now your premium potentially would go up to about $60, $65, $70, depending on whatever the company is. The reason that is because now you have less skin in the game, meaning you're going to pay out less in the event of a claim. So the insurance company offsets that by putting your premium a little higher for that reason. I know, it's numbers. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. So what does it do for you? Why does it make sense for you to have one or the other? Well, honestly speaking, that just depends on how you think you drive. I personally speaking, for the last 37, 38 years of my life, I've never caused an accident. I've been in a ton of accidents, but none that I've caused. People love hitting my car for some reason. So that reason for me is enough for me to have a broad form deductible on my vehicles, because God forbid something happens, at least I know I don't have an extra expense on top of dealing with all the other headaches that come with an accident of any kind. So that's just a little bit of tip for you, a little bit of insight on the broad form versus standard deductibles. If you have more questions on it, feel free to reach out to myself or my team here. Our number is 616-818-1202. We're located right here in Granville. It is the Mitch Joseph Farmers Insurance Agency. You can't miss us right there on Franklin Avenue. Again, that number is 616-818-1202. And I hope you have a blessed day.